Well, the tragic fire at a Johannesburg building that left 77 people dead seems to have spurred national and local government into action. The city is now embarking on a mission to be reclaiming hijacked buildings following last week's blaze in Marshall Town. MMC for Public Safety Mgcini is expected to conduct an oversight visit, and our reporter eNCA's Heidi Giokos will be on that story for us. These are live visuals of what we're looking at now. Heidi joining me this morning. And Heidi, what are we looking at exactly? Law enforcement, or at least officials in the building, what are they looking for? What are they analysing?
Yes, so as I mentioned to you earlier on, Tumelo, we've currently now moved into Vaneen Court here in Hillbrow, and really shocking visuals that we are seeing here. This building is completely dilapidated. There is absolutely zero infrastructure here. There's no ablution facilities, there's no electricity. The MMC for Roads and Transport, Kenny Kunene, as well as the MMC for Public Safety, they are currently assessing together with JMPD. We were told that they are doing an inspection with an intent to possibly evict if possible. It's very difficult to move in there, but I'm going to try and see if we can. So just bear with us at the moment.
So these ones per month. That goes to eNCA. Who does not? Now each and every flat has got eNCA.
Yeah.
That's the problem we're having here.
So this is the modus operandi. This is how they partition them. And then sometimes they will take, see here, they're gonna put another cat in here, then another family here coming through. And this is the modus operandi.
It's very difficult to show you and to actually move in there, Tumelo, but basically what we have been told is that, let me just try and move this side. Basically what we have been told is that the modus operandi has to do with the fact that they literally take curtains and they separate a one bedroom, and you have about 6 families staying just in that one bedroom. It becomes very complicated in terms of the rental that is taken from these landlords that have hijacked these buildings and basically exploit people. As I've mentioned to you, there's absolutely no proper facilities in this building. It's completely run down. And we have been told that one specific flat here is, or an apartment, constantly keeps catching fire. And we have been told it's because they literally start fires and they just start cooking on the balcony, or they start cooking inside, which is obviously not suitable and not advisable given the risk here. So we do know that the MMC is currently doing an inspection. Let me just try and move in, Tumelo, just bear with us.
The buildings that we will go to in the next few weeks, where human trafficking is rife, it's just women selling there. Where you are going to see cargoes of drugs being hidden on the underground of those buildings. The people are coming to us now with information, to MMC of Public Safety, to MMC of Transport. The people are giving us information about the buildings. The private security companies that have operated here, some have left, they are giving us information about these buildings because people can see that we are committed. There are families here. Most of the buildings belong to families who have invested their life savings into property. There's lawyers that contacted me on behalf of their clients. Their building has been hijacked. They can't make money. There's a group of women who have contacted me. Their building has been hijacked as soon as they got the title deeds, because this syndicate comes from the title deeds office. All over. It's a big syndicate. I'm happy that the police are here. The senior members of the police are here. We have been told here by the residents of these buildings that we go to with this man. We have been told by even private security companies that they give information to Hillbrow Police Station. Hillbrow Police Station, we are told nothing has been done. The people say when we do our raids, we must never tell Hillbrow Police Station, because these syndicates own Hillbrow police station. That's what we have been told. We have not verified that. But ordinary people are telling us, security companies are telling us, so it's difficult. But I'm happy that today with this operation, the senior police officials are here so that they can understand our frustrations. But we are not going to stop. We are not going to lose hope. We will continue to serve our people and make sure that before people lose their lives, the buildings are compliant and the right people can stay in the buildings. Those who cannot afford must go to the shelters. Or go back home. That's it.
Okay, Tumelo, there you have it. Those are the two MMCs that are just giving an update. My cameraman has now left the room, but I actually just wanted to show you that how there is this there's this issue of where they actually separate the rooms with the curtains. But unfortunately, Percy has since left, because you can imagine how congested it is all inside here. But this is the reality of what many people are subjected to every single day. As I've mentioned, there are no... let me just get Percy. Percy, if you could just come with me. Tumelo, I just want to show you this before we leave. But this is how the rooms are separated. So this could be about 3 to 4 families living in here. And it's separated through with a curtain. They cook in here, they bathe in here, they do absolutely everything in here. And this is possibly what happened in the previous building where we saw 77 people lose their lives, where one room, which is supposed to have 2 people or so, literally has about 6 families. We're not talking about 6 people, 6 families. So it's separated with this curtain and the wires. They separate it so that more people can occupy this, and then the landlord just gets more money from this, or the hijacker just gets more money from this. The living conditions are absolutely appalling. I'm going to ask Percy to just follow me. Just follow me this side. You can absolutely see there's nothing here. I don't even know which part of the apartment this section is here, but it's completely dilapidated. There is nothing that is functioning here at the moment. You can also see that perhaps people were living here previously and they've since left. We've also been told by the ward councillor in the area that in actual fact people get robbed here and then they run through this building.
So you see here is that according to the Fire Brigade Act, you're supposed to have an emergency escape for fire. Now you see here, this thing is gone. So when this building catches fire, the people will be gone here and say, I don't even want to stay, this thing will fall. So what I'm saying that is when we do this inspection, this building is closed. This building is closed. So anything that can happen here, disaster is waiting to really happen. And by the way, the history for this building, for the info, is that the person who was supposed to renovate it has passed on for years. So they left a security at some point, and the security left. The building deteriorated. So it's one of the things that this building now, it must be expropriated without compensation and be taken over by the city. So as you can see here, disaster waiting to really happen. If there's fire out there, the guys will not be able to really escape. All they do, they have to like run down all of them here, stamp it, and it's gone.
So these are the factual things that have made us to declare war on these hijacked buildings. The criminals steal these steps. They go sell them as scrap metal. They have been stolen. They go sell them as scrap metal. So we are very serious about what we are doing, and we are not doing it for politics. We come from different political parties, but we have the same heart. And we are supported by the mayor, we are supported by other MMCs in the GNU in what we are doing. That is why we said to the mayor, before we go to council, we are starting here. Because there's a disaster waiting to happen here. We are evicting another building, we will invite you. We are taking them to another building, those who can afford, those who can't afford shelter. You don't want shelter, go home.
Sorry,
we are
can I ask
saving
a
lives.
question? You're live on eNCA. You're saying that this is a disaster waiting to happen. What are you going to do with these people? Are you moving them today?
We are not moving them today. But they are coming back.
We're going to come back.
When?
Well, what we're going to do is that in the next, let's say, 2 or 3 days, we must give the mayor, we must take the mayor into confidence and the CM, and then we must actually go now and look for a shelter. We've got those shelters that we actually put those people there. So the guys are coming in now, the patrollers are coming in to audit each and every house, how many people that are here. So within the 2 to 3 days, so these people are actually going to be taken out. Because the building, you can see it is done and dusted. Remember, there is a court order for this place. It's there already. So the only thing that they were waiting for is an alternative accommodation. And with the problem when I hide is that when you tell the people about these buildings and you tell them about shelters, they don't want shelters. And we've got all BMU to really transport them very nice and proper to a proper place. So in the next few days, we will tell you when, because we don't want to alert, because sometimes when you alert, they start blocking the place, and you've got all these criminals coming in, then it becomes a war zone. In the next 2 to 3 days, we're going to come back. Everyone are going to put up a notice that people, they must start packing, that the building is closed, and they must go to a shelter, so that the city can expropriate this building without compensation, and then clean it up.
So you don't know at this particular point how many people reside in this building. You don't have that figure.
It changes every time.
Okay.
It changes every time. What we are going to do is that through the chief, what we do in another building called Metro, we get in the patrollers to check how many people are there, and then from there we seal it. There's a security companies within the city. They will come in and seal it so that you don't have a change of population. Because others, remember, they are in transit. They just stay here for 5 days. Others are staying, let's say 2 days. They're just moving, going somewhere. So population changes every single time. What you do, you audit first, and then from there you put up a tight security with guns. And then from there, you start asking one by one in-house, where are you coming from? Look at the socio-economic status of each person there. The ones who can afford are here. They must go and get accommodation because they can afford. Like what we saw in Casamia, what we saw in the other, at the Ramin Court, in Park Lane, Ramin Court, they can afford. Even Joshua, they say that anywhere between 6,000 and 40,000, that's what the people are earning. So those who can earn, we're going to find them rental and go. Those who are homeland, the destitute, we're going to take them to the shelter. Shelter is there. The NGOs are there in terms of this gift of the givers and people. There's food, there's everything. Problem is that some of them, they don't want to go to those shelters because the rules are strict. There, you must first wash. You must ensure the place is clean. You must ensure that you don't come back very late and all of that. So yeah. Oh mama, nabo baba. Nizwile, in the next 2-3 days, siya remove la. Must figure. Ningathi we did not warn you. Must figure la. Bakisha into zakho 2-3 days bazoza namhlanje ba-audit ukuthi ngabo bana bahlala la. Babaqeda. Thina siyafika. Must figure. Impahla yakho van. Your clothes, your things, ungena kwi-kombi, uya kwi-shelter. If you are going to patala, suthatha kwenye building, uyopatala khona. So that umasipala can also get revenue. One of the biggest things with hijacking of buildings, hundreds of millions are going into the hands of criminals. That money could have been revenue collected by the city of Johannesburg to implement service delivery. So what we are doing here is to make sure that the city collects revenue so that we can implement service delivery programs as much as possible. Salute.
Okay, there you have it, Pumelo. I think there was some indication of what the plan is next for this building. Unfortunately, it's just very difficult to ask more questions because we are on the opposite side of the MMCs. But we have been told that possibly in the next few days they will close this building off and move people either to shelters or to areas where, if those that can afford, will be able to afford alternative accommodation. I'm going to ask my colleague Percy to just show you down here. I mean, I don't know about the integrity of the structure. It feels rather unsafe. But this is what people are living with and what people are subjected to. And the MMC for Public Safety showed us that fire escape, those stairs, they're non-existent. And this is also something that was alerted to us about the building that caught fire last week, that the fire escapes were non-existent. There was absolutely no way that they could get out of this specific area because, or that building, many of them having to jump from the 5th floor, many of them really having to go to extreme measures, those that were fortunate enough to get out, because you have the fire areas or the emergency exits completely damaged or completely sealed off. We were told that the previous building where the fire took place, Tumelo, that there were actually exit doors that were locked and completely chained. And that's what happens in a hijacked building, where people are just, taking over the building and don't allow for those security doors to operate. I'm going to just ask if you can bear with us. We want to just walk down because we have been told that we cannot stay here unaccompanied, which is understandable as we do not know the state of the building. But I'm going to ask Percy to just come here, so just to show you. We do not know how many people occupy this particular apartment. We have absolutely no idea how many people live in here, but you can just see the conditions. As I've mentioned, no proper ablution facilities, no running water, and no electricity.
All right, Heidi Giokos, as of course we've seen, those images, also the concerning images of what looks like a dumping ground inside the very same building where you were. A lot of trash not being picked up there. One can only imagine how was that a habitable area. But like you mentioned, families just in one room had resided there, and the officials say they'll do the best that they can. We'll see how that goes.